Hi, my name is Jessica Maybe, and this is my persuasion speech. Now, I'm going to go ahead and guess that any of you would be outraged if a dog was treated poorly, or even worse, if it was killed just for someone to eat. Now, the same is probably true for a cat, a horse, monkey, an elephant, and so on, but what about a pig? Where is it that we draw the line? When is it morally okay for the mistreatment of animals? Did you know that 1 billion pigs are being raised just for food at any given moment? 1 billion. Just take a moment to think about how big this number really is. Now think about how that number is just for pigs. This isn't counting the cows, the chickens, the turkeys, and so on. Now you might be thinking, we don't have a choice. We need meat to survive. Killing for food is done every single day and has become so normalized that people don't even stop to question it. Yet we do have a choice. There are other ways to get the nutrients we need, and there are more humane ways to treat animals within these farms. I'm not saying that everybody needs to go and become a vegetarian, rather that everybody should be educated on the mistreatment of animals and be aware of alternatives to meat. Farm factories are inhumane. The term for farm factory can be defined as an intensive industrialized business model for animal agriculture and is the most prevalent cause of animal suffering worldwide. The 3 most common meat sources are chicken, cows, and pigs. Chicken breasts are made to be 3 times larger than usual just so that they can carry more meat. This weight added to the chicken makes it so they're barely able to stand up straight, let alone walk. Not that they'd be able to if they wanted to. The chickens are crammed into small living spaces holding thousands of chickens. Here is a picture for reference. Cows are only able to produce milk while they are pregnant, so they are forcefully impregnated their entire lives. In most cases, workers care very little about their animals and treat them very poorly. Out of stress and fear, the animals take it out on one another, kicking and scratching at one another. Studies have shown that pigs' intelligence is comparable to a chimpanzee, an animal that we all praise for its intelligence. They spend their entire lives in the dark, scared, while almost standing on top of one another. The amount of animals being raised for consumption is inefficient. A quote from Brian Hennings reads, "The mass consumption of animals is a primary reason why humans go hungry, fat, or sick, and is the leading cause of depletion and pollution of waterways, the degradation and deforestation of land, and the extinction of species and the warming of the planet." After reading this quote, the first thing I thought is, there's no way that's true. Because if it was, we would have done something to change it by now. Yet, everything in this quote is correct. Meat production is the leading cause of pollution, which leads to chronic illness, environmental destruction, and even death. Manure from farm animals is not properly disposed of. This ruined soil contaminates water and destroys ecosystems. Forests have been wiped out for animal grazing and feed crops. Knowing these facts makes me want to improve my eating habits. I hope it does the same for you. But how do we do this? There are various ways to get nutrients and proteins outside of animal meat. Indeed, even the least sustainable plant food is significantly more sustainable than the best environmentally performing animal food. Tofu is a great example of an alternative to meat. It is made from soybeans and is high in protein. There are also many vegetables high in protein that can replace meats. Another alternative is plant-based meat. It is becoming more and more popular. Most companies are now starting to launch their own plant-based meat. Rather than cutting animals completely out of our diet, we can stop making it the main course within each meal. This is something that we all can do. It is healthier and more humane. As a society, we need to cut down on our dairy and meat. In polling, 94% of Americans agree that animals raised for food deserve to live away from abuse and cruelty, yet only a handful of this percentage have done anything to stop it. The only reason that factory farms are still open and running is because we keep them in business. Stopping these farms is completely up to us. The solution is easy. We as a society need to stop funding them. These companies make money from us, the consumers. Every time you go to the store and buy a random bag of chicken breasts, the money goes straight back into these corporations that run the industry. We need to research where we are getting our meat from and how the animals there are being treated. From this, we are able to make better decisions on what industries to buy from, and in turn, which ones we are keeping in business. If everybody stopped buying from the big corporations that treat the animals the worst, they would be forced to shut down. Putting an end to this industry won't just help the animals, it will also be beneficial to the environment and to you. So, what does a plant-based diet entail? Plant-based food include anything from fruits and vegetables to nuts, whole grains, seeds, oils, and beans. Vegetarianism provides all the necessary nutrients and proteins and has shown lower risk of diseases. According to Physicians Committee, eating more plants and fewer animal products could prevent 10.9 to 11.6 million premature deaths from heart disease, diabetes, and other chronic conditions every year. Maybe you don't care about what the animals go through or even your own health, but do you care that these farms are killing our earth? Minimizing the meat industry could help clear our air, water, and soils. It could help stop global warming and climate changes. By eating more plant-based, it would create more life instead of more death. It could help minimize the amounts of waste that goes into packaging and transports of meats. Plant-based foods are almost always more eco-friendly, if they're even packaged. Now, let's go over why you should make your diet more plant-based. Plant-based foods have a lower environmental impact because of the amount of animals that are raised for consumption. It requires too much land, water, and energy. It is proven to lower chances of diseases and lowers obesity rates, which in turn causes cancer. The way animals are treated within farm factories is inhumane and unethical. All in all, eating less meat could save lives, both animal and human, and could even save our planet.